Seja com quem for, a minha vida é cantar, nunca no mesmo lugar. Seja sozinho a dois, o resto eu vejo depois. Mas só em pensar que com a sua face, tudo que eu pedisse, só você quem me desse. Aí pensando desse esse quatro falasse. Mas que pena, já era. Não deixe mais aquela tão bela e singela. E nem dá. Por quê? Seu rosto, a voz ela é através de alô. Se passou pela favela é porque alguém me falou. Então já que me deixou por aqui, aprendi a viver um pouco sozinho. Mas o que eu posso fazer, fia, se eu gosto da boemia. Essa noite pra mim é dia, mas posso mudar. Mas como isso é questão de tempo, então isso...
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Early season's greetings, NBA fans. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Got Shaquille O'Neal here. Got Kenny the Jet Smith here for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. And coming right up, we'll see this home squad playing against the Miami Heat. For the Heat, they have to be pleased with the way things have gone for them this season, winning 3 of their first 4 games. They've been a confident-looking team since the end of the preseason. And the topic here, prior to tip-off, so many teams in the league going up-tempo these days. Kenny, as a player, did you like that style? I'm assuming you had to love it.
Because the one thing about playing up-tempo, Ernie, it brings you back to the roots of the game, why you started playing. If you ever go to a pickup game, you ever go to a park game, no one's stopping play and calling plays. They're going up and down. The big fella Shaq, when he first came into the league, the first thing I saw was him grab the ball coast to coast and all.
Thanks for watching the stream.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sidelines. For the Miami Heat, they are coming off a good outing against the Hawks. It was just a textbook performance. That game was all in. As they got it going, it was full speed ahead.
And after that game, it was impressive to look at the box score and see the work they did at the free throw line.
And not only what they did in making them, but what they did to get to the line. I mean, they were constantly in attack mode, driving the lane and drawing fouls.
So here's Miami's starting group. Dang and Bosh, your small and power forwards. Dragic is joined in the backcourt by Wade, and it's Whiteside in at the 5 down low.
Nice make for him as they get the scoring started.
Yeah, he gets it going, and who knows now, you know, it might be a really big night in store for him. And, you know, we saw Chris Bosh really ramp it up with the 3-ball last season. I mean, we frequently see vets do that. LaMarcus Aldridge is a recent example. Extending your range is a great way to keep playing at a high level, especially as you enter your 30s.
And so here's Columbus following Chris Bosh's 3. In transition, here comes Miami, and the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That is his first foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
And Miami has possession. The drive by Wade, and Dragic has it in the corner. Off target from outside. We're talking about Chris Bosh working on that three-point shot. Last year, he launched nearly 4 threes a game. While most of his career, Greg, he shot less than 1 a game.
Yeah, and Kevin, it's a blessing and a curse at times that he's shooting more threes. The blessing is that it makes Bosh so much more difficult to defend. The curse is that he shot his lowest percentage from the field last season since he was a rookie.
The monster, no luck. Now the Heat take it the other way. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I spoke briefly with Eric Spoelstra. I asked him about the player he'll try to key on in this matchup, and he had no hesitation saying Kevin Garnett. He said what makes KG special and such a problem to deal with is he can control games on both ends of the floor with his offensive and defensive skill set, saying he has so much length it makes it very difficult around both keys for us.
Thanks, Doris. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Dragic the pass to Bosh. Here's Whiteside. Excellent D there from Garnett.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Here's the professor. Really played well against Portland in his last outing. The shot is off.
Yeah.
Wade with it. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Bosch kicks to Wade. Goes up at the stripe. Good, and it's Bosch picking up the assist. Wade's got his first bucket of the night.
Great pass by Bosch there.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat, but he's been with the organization for so long. They're starting to become synonymous.
Deng can't get it to go.
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
The professor passes to the monster. No good.
Oh, man.
Nuggets with some nice D. Miami's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game.
Oh, block that shit.
And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. Now that we have a chance, let's go to the 2K leaderboard and reveal last season's top shot blockers. Second is Hassan Whiteside.
And shot blocking is the element of the game that I think he cares about the most. That's where he puts in that effort and energy.
Ref.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. That puts them in the lead. Wade's got his second basket of the game. Greg, as you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team, and Riley Clark kind of molded him in his image.
Yeah, and it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to them.
And it doesn't even matter that he's surrounded on that possession. He's got the size to pull those boards down anyway.
And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That's his first foul. A big group substitution here for Columbus. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for the Monster. Towns comes in for Kevin Garnett. Levine's checked in for the Professor. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Mr. Clutch. And then for Miami, Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Winslow comes in for Luol Deng. And it's Richardson in for Dwayne Wade.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Winslow's shot is off. For Columbus, they've gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. That is good. Levine's got his first bucket in this one.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Kept alive. Kicks it out to Richardson. Basket is good. The assist from...
Oh, no. Bad time to slip up there, Kevin. They got to stay focused.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Bosch, shoot.
That one misses for Bosch.
Just some amazing stats put up by Chris Bosh early in his career. But having been in the shadow of LeBron and D. Wade over the past few seasons, one wonders if Bosh is now a little bit underrated. He's talented and gives you everything you want from the power forward spot.
Johnson, he's checked in for Miami. Here's Levine. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Winslow pulls it down.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Out to the right wing. Johnson outside. The 11-footer. It's tipped, but they recover it.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Wiggins dishes to Pekovic, and he finishes nicely on the way.
I tell you what, post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Come on, D. Play tight.
Stoudemire, the screen.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Heat lead by 1. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh about what it meant to him to become an NBA player.
I was obsessed with the NBA as a kid, and just like I would have.
What a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy you can't help, Greg, the love for his attitude and ability to be, you know, in touch with that kid he once was. I know you played the same way. Chris Bosh is living the dream like you did and loving it.
That's a great point, Kevin. And I think most of the guys in the league feel that same way. I mean, they may not be able to say it or articulate it as smoothly as Chris does,
sure.
but inside every NBA player is a kid who's still thrilled to wear the uniform and play the game they love.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Miami, guys.
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yep, and they've set the tone here early with the hustle they've come out with.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And so in the game for Columbus, Mr. Clutch out there with Ricky Rubio. And there's Pekovic, then there's Towns, and it's the Professor in at the 3. The baseline J off the mark.
Man.
The Heat leading by 6.
Man, terrible.
Well, Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year. And as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball.
The Monsters checked in for Nikola Pekovic. The Heat also changing it up. Wash comes in for Johnson, and it's Dang in for Winslow. Here's the Professor. He's covered by Dang. To the wing right side. Here's the Professor. There's the pass to Mr. Clutch. They get it back. They need this. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
And Columbus making a change here. Garnett's checked in.
And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. So only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
They grabbed their own miss. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Miami.
They definitely had a hot hand from 3-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
That one is no good.
Boy, last season, Hassan Whiteside made a huge splash in the NBA. Big blocks, big rebound totals. But he had some head-scratching moments as well. Missed his share of action due to suspension.
And the basket good. The Heat leading by 4. Wade kicks to Whiteside. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. Back to Richardson. Dang passes to Bosh. The 10-footer. And that one's good. Bosh has got 5 now.
They're doing much better now. I mean, in the first quarter, they converted less than 30% of their field goals. But they've bounced back nicely here.
Here's the Professor. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. For Columbus, they've gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. First free throw is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
He's always been extremely reliable at the line, and today's been no different.
Yeah, I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift. I think he's got to try to take advantage of that.
Wade kicks to Whiteside. Wade left side. Shoots from 14, and there's another one for the Heat. Columbus trails by 6. Here's the professor. 6 points for him. And it's Wade with the rebound.
Man.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Trying to score. Come on.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Here's the monster. Good work defensively by Whiteside.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And what a tough position Luol Deng found himself in last year in a small forward swap of sorts. LeBron James goes from Miami to Cleveland. Deng goes from Cleveland to Miami. He had his choice. There was Atlanta that was in the mix there too. But he goes to the Miami Heat. He's bounced around a little bit. But still a very big talent.
He is. You know, he kind of likes following legends. Remember, Scottie Pippen was that great small forward in Chicago, and Luol Deng was the next heir apparent. So he seemed to be pretty comfortable stepping into LeBron's role. Unfortunately, not able to deliver at the same level. And let's face it, the problem is you can't make up for losing the best player in the game. And that's the case here in Miami for Luol.
And, you know, getting back to Luol Deng, he wasn't entirely pleased with his new role. He's been a knockdown mid-range shooter throughout his career, but last year he was asked to shoot corner threes in volume, and that's not his game.
Now, here's Wade. Tight defense on him. Back to Stoudemire. Outside Deng. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Stoudemire, and he hits it just before the shot clock expires. And the Heat lead by 7.
And back to Luol Deng. I mean, he started last season pretty strong. I mean, Deng was actually healthier than LeBron at the beginning of the year, but the tables turned around midseason. Deng became hobbled with that knee, and LeBron returned to his old dominant self.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
Dragic kicks to Wade. Back to Dragic. The shot's good on the assist by Wade. Dragic has got his first basket of the night.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Mr. Clutch, the pass to Levine. All alone. And he hits the jump shot. And it's 7 points for Mr. Clutch. The Heat leading by 5. The dish to Stoudemire. Back to Dragic. Looks for Bosch. Gets it to him. And it's Dragic off the drive. Again, Dragic missing. For Columbus, they've gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Here's Levine. He's guarded by Dragic. Over to the left wing. Mr. Clutch. And again, it's Columbus. 19 seconds left now here in the second. Wade up top. 20 points for him last game against Atlanta.
And how about the extraordinary display of his passing in that game? He was making all the right decisions and had their offense humming.
1 second left, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Miami ahead, up 3. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, I'm here with Coach Eric Spoelstra.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. The biggest lead of the quarter was only 3 points. And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kane's team. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. You look at Mr. Clutch, he's really been playing well.
He created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
Here's who Eric Spoelstra is starting the second half with. The big men are Bosch and Whiteside. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. And it's Dragic in at the 1.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
That's it, and the Miami lead is cut down to 1 on the bucket from the professor.
Great way to start the half. Easy layup against some soft D.
Dragic kicks to Whiteside. Outside Dang. Bosch, the screen. Pass to Wade. And it's off target. Not sure why he took that one. In Columbus, they won their last contest, that game against the Trailblazers.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at him.
Kicks it to Whiteside. Whiteside sets the pick for Wade. Great touch on the 16-footer. Wade's got 8 points.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending it.
Ricky Rubio checked in for Columbus. Heat also with a sub. Winslow's checked in.
And Dwayne Wade, as we know, one of the best in the business at blocking shots from that off-guard position. Hard to think of a guard who has had as many swats as Dwayne Wade in the past couple decades. One of the best ever.
The Heat have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. And the jam by Whiteside. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there have already been 5 lead changes, but nobody taking control of it.
Yeah, tooth and nail fight so far, guys. These sides match up really well.
A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. 8 points for the Monster.
That would be 4 in a row for him now as they have come racing out of the gate to start this second half.
Wade kicks to Whiteside. Dragic with it. Guarded now by Rubio. Bosch, the screen. Shoots off the screen. And it's Wade again missing.
You could tell he assumed he'd be able to beat the defensive coverage even though it was all over him.
Here's the Monster. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. The Monster's got the lead up to 3 now for Columbus.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
And the Heat call time here. This, of course, the first opportunity to play Columbus this season.
Yeah, faced off twice last season, and it was a split between the 2 teams.
Well, you know, both of these teams know and understand when they face off, it's a very winnable game for either one of them. And they often don't get a chance to feel that way.
And Columbus making a change here. Pekovic is checked in. Johnson, he's checked in for the Heat. Richardson comes in for Dwayne Wade. That's tipped and stolen by Pekovic. Here's the professor. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. 10 points for the professor.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, Clark, quality looks at the rim. That's fueling this run.
No good from Dragic. And Columbus with possession. They're on a 12-4 run. And good on the basket. Book it. And that's 12 points for the professor.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
There's a screen. Dragic kicks to Johnson. Rebound by Columbus.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take. Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
Right side a screen. Shot off the screen. Another miss by Johnson.
Really tough for this group right now, trying anything to stop the run.
And no matter what they've tried, it hasn't worked. I think they've just got to slow it down, idle it back, and get back to the basics.
Rubio right side. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. The Heat trail by 9. Johnson outside. Richardson dishes to Johnson. Shot clock at 5. The Heat need to get a shot off. Shoots a 3. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
A moment here to check out the numbers for Whiteside. He had a strong showing last season. Last season chipped in 11 points per game, 10 rebounds, and over 2.5 blocks. And you talk about a difference maker. He's a factor inside with his length and activity.
Exactly what you want from your bigs. Protect the rim, pound the glass, and intimidate.
Looking at who's out there for Columbus. Towns comes in for Kevin Garnett. And Zach LaVine subbed in for the Professor. Shot from 12. Misses off the left iron.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Always important to have that good interior defense.
Dragic kicks to Johnson. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. Dragic has got his 4th assist in this one. And Columbus with possession. They're on a 16-6 run. Rubio outside from deep. An absolute bomb from 3-point range.
And guarding him on the perimeter isn't a priority for them right now, but if this continues, it will be.
Here's Johnson. He feeds it to Stoudemire. That's tipped, and they'll keep possession. Johnson up top. That's short off the rim. Columbus leading by 10. Here's Rubio. And it's Rubio again missing. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Stoudemire, the pass to Richardson. Lets a floater go. The kick out to Dragic. Releases from the wing and drills it. Dragic has got his 2nd basket of the game. He got it up. No good on the buzzer beater. And we've reached the end of the 3rd. Columbus leads by 8. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. The 4th quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. Columbus leading by 8. They've got Wiggins. Towns is out there with the monster. And it's Mr. Clutch. And it's LaVine at the 2. Towns, the pass to the monster. It's stolen by Dragic. There's a screen. Feeds it to Wade. Fade away. Rebound by Columbus. The monster's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Mr. Clutch. He's guarded by Dragic. Here's the monster. Knocked loose. Another shot. The shot is off. Some solid defense from Bosch.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack.
Boy, I really love the way Dragic spreads that ball around.
For Columbus, they've gone 0 of 3 to start the fourth quarter. Mr. Clutch, the pass to Towns. Now here's Dragic, the fast break opportunity. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, Dwayne Wade in this one, 10 points and 3 assists.
Well, one thing that you can always say about Dwayne Wade is that he is at his best when the game is on the line. He truly lives for the big moments.
He does, and Wade has been in so many of those big moments over the course of his career. 5 trips to the NBA Finals, and he really does thrive under pressure.
Looking at who's out there for Columbus, Kevin Garnett. He's checked in for Towns. And the professor subbed in for Levine. Whiteside's checked in for Miami.
And for Wade, when it comes to being clutch, a lot of it is experience. I mean, it's not just during the playoffs. He knows when to step up in the fourth quarter during the regular season. Very productive in the fourth quarter from a scoring standpoint.
The Heat trail by 5. Outside Dragic. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Right side a screen. Shot clock at 6. Let's go. No good from Dragic.
Wade averaged 7 points in the fourth quarter of last season. That was 3rd most in the NBA. A big part of it is how he can create his own shot. When the game is on the line, you want him on the floor with the ball in hand.
Dragic dishes to Bosch. The teardrop falls in.
Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
Here's the professor. And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was 1 step late that time, Greg.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. The professor passes to Mr. Clutch. Dragic with some nice D.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Wade outside. Here's the 3. Dang gets a wide open look. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Wade's got 4 assists now tonight.
I tell you, Luol Deng is not exceptional in any one area, but really doesn't have any weaknesses either. I think he's been one of the most complete small forwards over the past decade in the league.
Columbus leading by 3. Out left to the wing. To the left wing. Here's Mr. Clutch. Columbus again can't hit.
Yeah.
For Miami, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Whiteside kicks to Dang. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. For Columbus, they've gone just 1 of 6 in the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. Columbus again can't hit.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Here's the professor. There's the killer 2-handed slam.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
We've seen the professor really having a great game.
I mean, he's getting to the rack all game, and if they can't do a better job of keeping him out of the paint, they're in for a long night.
And the Heat call time here. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He told his guys, time's running low. If we're going to make our move, it's going to be now. Are you guys ready? And as they nodded, he said, let's go get it. Kevin?
And Miami making a change here. Winslow's checked in. Bosch. Rebound by Columbus. The professor's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a that's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Columbus leading by 3. Good. The Professor's got 12 points here in the second half.
Definitely doing his part because he's made his share of clutch buckets here in the fourth.
Yeah, it looks like he saw some things out there that need to be adjusted, and it's going to take a break here and talk it over.
Hey, you know, coaches sometimes need a break in the action to rethink and retool a bit. Anytime you're in that situation, it makes sense to use the timeout.
And it's Wade penetrating. Miami no good on that time either.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Here's the Professor. Wade is covering. Five to shoot. The Professor passes to Mr. Clutch. He misses that time, but only 5 misses in his 11 shots from the field as he's 6 of 11.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Columbus leading by 5. Puts it up from 12. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. 20 points for the Professor.
He's come out here in the second half and done a nice job moving, getting good looks, and finding his range.
And the Heat call time here. They're down by 7. 1:12 left in the fourth quarter. Miami with the ball. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter. And with that, the Columbus lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Wade. Columbus shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. And it's blocked by Whiteside. And they get it back. Stolen by Bosch. It's stolen by Garnett. Here's the monster. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's on Chris Bosch.
Looking at the game for the monster, 8 rebounds and 10 points.
What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Columbus?
When they've had a chance to attack the basket at any point in this game, they've taken advantage.
They've consistently drilled the mid-range jumper tonight as well, which has forced the D to come out on them.
Yeah, showing off a really smooth stroke there, and that will add to their lead. It's going to be tough for them here, but maybe, just maybe, it's not over yet.
Cannot afford any empty possessions. They've got to recycle everything, partner.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
There's 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
It's stolen by Wade.
Gotta score quickly.
Yeah, no time to waste here, partner.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
Stolen by Winslow. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Dragic dishes to Winslow. And not sure what he was thinking there. And an intentional foul right there.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. And the Heat call time here. They're trailing by 5. 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
And a quick bucket and a foul is really the only option at this point.
And the important thing about the foul is who you foul. They don't want to send a top-notch free thrower to the line if they can avoid it.
Kev, he came out of nowhere to slam that one back in.
Well, that's making him pay for letting him get his hands on that rebound.
Yeah, is it ever? I mean, I doubt we'll see them make that mistake again.
Shooting for Columbus. 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
Three-pointer, Wade. And the foul called on Hassan Whiteside. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Here's the professor. Off the mark. And so Columbus takes the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but Clark, a win nonetheless.
Yeah, and it appeared to me as though the fans gave them the emotional boost they needed down the stretch, Kevin. This crowd was not going to let this one slip away.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, Clark Kellogg, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now the award-winning Ernie Johnson will take it from here. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson again, folks, alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. He found his rhythm in the second half, and there was no stopping him then. He was locked and loaded. And how'd you feel about his performance, Shaq?
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this guy. Wow. I'm getting jealous. He feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
When you're having a night shooting in the high 50s, you're being efficient with your shot selection. He played smart basketball tonight, really made each possession count. He was the difference maker.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.
The type who be in your
Somehow the rap game reminds me of the game. Used to sport valleys and gazelles with black frames. Now I'm into fat chains. Fly new chicks and new kicks. Represent, represent. Represent, represent. Represent, represent. No doubt, see my stats are fat. This is what it's about. Before the BDP conflict with MC Shan. Around the time with Shantae, just the real Roxanne. I used to wake up every morning, see my crew on the block. Every day's a different plan that had us running from cops. If it wasn't hanging out in front of spots, we was at the factory breaking the locks. Nowadays I need the in the flash just like the next man. A yard guard, let me see 100 grand. Could use a son being the wanted man, but if I hit rock bottom, then I'ma be the son of Sam. They call the crew to get live too with Sue Walk him. This way the Jake should never stop it. It's your brain on to all flop to thugs. Enough respect to the project. Some ghosts, one love. Represent y'all. Represent. Represent y'all. Represent. Represent y'all. Represent. Represent y'all. Represent. One time for your mind. This goes out to everybody in New York that's living a real life in every projects all over. To my man Big Will, we still here. The 40 side of Vernon. My man Big LES. Big CeeLo from the Dime. Sean Penn, the 40 Busters. My crew, the Shorty Busters. The 41st side of Vernon Posse. The Goodfellas. My man Cormega, Lakey the Kid. Can't forget Drawers. The Hillbillies. My man Slate, Wallet Head. Black J, Big Oogie. Crazy Barrier Spot. Big Dog. We rock the line. Malachi. PhD. And my man Primo, Gangstar. 94 real. Yeah. Yo, let's go. It's my man. Let's bring it back. That's just the warm us up, man. Cause I be bugging.
I've seen it with my own eyes. I would get it otherwise without the luxury of leaving. The touch and feeling of free is untangible technically. It's something we got to believe in. Connect the cause and the facts, one foot in front of the next. This is the start of a journey. And my mind is already gone in the fear of the unknown. Somehow this doesn't concern me. And you can stand right there if you want, but I'm going on.
Oh, what's up, blood? Dude, fixing you up.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. We're glad to have you with us on 2K Sports. We'll watch the visiting squad as they go up against the Chicago Bulls. And guys, for the Bulls, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. And let's talk for a moment about Derrick Rose. He's missed so much time the past several seasons with injuries. Kenny, is it too much to expect him to return to his former level, his MVP level?
Well, maybe not the MVP level, but he still can be a serviceable all-star, meaning he might not be able to dominate for 82 games, but he could do it for 40. And then he could do it for playoff time. So I do think the knee surgeries took a little toll on him, as they would any player, but I still think he has a lot left in the tank.
He might be able to get back to his MVP level, but it's going to take a full season. A full season of injury-free play to get that confidence back. Full season, Ernie, 82 games.
That does it for us. Kevin Harlan with the call, and we will see you later on.
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. Looking at Chicago, they took the win in their last game against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way, and that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against a defense that really didn't offer much of a fight.
So let's take a look at the starters for Columbus. Mr. Clutch out there with the professor. Then it's Wiggins. Then it's Garnett. And it's the monster in at the center position.
Oh, man, Garnett is terrible.
And, you know, guys, Taj Gibson now has 6 full seasons in the NBA. Already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
He's off on the first. Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, you know, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
For Columbus, they won their last contest, that game against the Heat.
And in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Here's the professor, and there's the foul. It goes on Taj Gibson. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Here's the professor. A 23-point game for him in the win against Miami.
You know, and in watching that game, he did a really nice job of passing the basketball, scoring and setting up his teammates.
Outside Rose. To the paint. Here's Gasol. It's good. This time the assist from Rose.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Here's the professor to the right side. The good-looking shot from the wing.
Assist from.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Rose dishes to Gibson. Back to Rose. Poked away. And Gibson kicks to Rose. Butler in the corner. Gets an open look and hits.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer. Was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Oh, they look like
Bulls have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Rose gets to Gasol. Good-looking screen by Gasol. In the corner, Gibson with it. Outside Rose. Right side Gasol. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
It's been a very efficient first quarter for him. He's creating good opportunities and converting those that he creates.
Here's the professor. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot 1 more at the free throw line.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Joakim Noah is checked in for Taj Gibson. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Gasol a screen. Outside Rose. 6 to shoot. Nice shot by McDermott.
Why are you leaving?
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Gosh.
Columbus trails by 5. Mr. Clutch the pass to the professor. Butler with the steal. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Here's Rose. No good.
And I love the way he uses his size there to make sure he gets that board.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Here's the professor. Rebounded by McDermott.
Yeah.
And guys, what a strange rookie campaign for Dougie McBuckets. I mean, he entered the draft as a polished sharpshooter. The Bulls traded up in the first round to get him, and he ended up playing 9 minutes a game over the course of last season.
Now here's Rose. A 20-point game for him in the win against Oklahoma City.
And don't forget about his work on the glass. I mean, he contributed in a number of ways.
And so here's Columbus. After Jimmy Butler made that last three-pointer to the wing on the left, here's Mr. Clutch. And that one's on target from the wing. Mr. Clutch has got his second basket of the night. And on the topic of Doug McDermott, one of the most decorated college players in recent history. And Clark, you called a lot of his games.
Yeah, enjoyed watching him play, and I still think he has a bright future. Just never found any real rhythm. Averaged only 3 points a game, but he didn't get much playing time. So look for him to bounce back in the years going forward.
Wow,
you know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Portis, he's checked in for Gasol. Etuan Moore comes in for McDermott, and it's Brooks in for Rose. Towns. Noah with the block. Right wing. Here's Levine. Columbus again can't hit. The Bulls leading by 8. And it's Moore penetrating. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions, finally transferred to a major college, and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
Now here's Brooks. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
The defense is just not closing out quick enough.
For Chicago, they've gone 8 of 12 on field goal attempts so far. There's the screen. No good on that last second attempt there. So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Bulls lead by 11. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. And before the game, Star Center Joakim Noah talked about the intensity of this Chicago Bulls team. I think Joakim can certainly make a case, Clark, for Chicago.
Play tight.
Being that famished 5, especially with Rose back on the court.
There's no doubting that, Kevin. I mean, even the addition of Gasol with his 2 rings, the way he left things in L.A., that left him with an appetite that has him still hustling.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for Chicago.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And that's what's created a rhythm for them offensively. That's also why you see them knocking down that mid-range jump shot.
And so in the game for Columbus, we've got the professor. Wiggins is out there with Towns. And it's Mr. Clutch. And it's the monster in at the 5. Rose attacking. 14 feet away. Rebound by Columbus.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on him, they expect him to make it.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. To the left wing. Now here's McDermott, covered by Wiggins. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shoots. And the Bulls with another miss. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls Clark had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, a 2-time champion in the locker room, big. As is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
Here's the professor, and the lead is down inside single digits. The professor's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for Columbus.
Come on, Jit.
Chicago timeout call.
And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago. This, of course, the first opportunity to play Columbus this season.
Yeah, and they swept this matchup the 2 times they played last year. They held the advantage on paper and on the court.
Yeah, exactly. An interconference matchup here. Not a lot of familiarity, but I wouldn't say they caught them off guard. There's a reason one team was in the playoffs and the other team was watching.
Come on, man.
More with it. He has 5.
Thank you.
And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
Well, we've got a moment to look back at last year's Bulls. 3rd in rebounding, 3rd in free throw percentage. And they also showed up in the top 5 in opponent field goal percentage. A very improved defensive team.
Yeah, and going back to their rebounding, very few teams could outmuscle them inside. The size and toughness to scrap for every carom off the backboard.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Offensive rebound. Towns dishes to Garnett. Right wing. Here's the professor. Kept alive.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
McDermott kicks to Rose for 3. Rebound by Columbus. Towns has got 4 rebounds in this game.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Wow. Chicago leading by 9. Rose passes to McDermott.
He got that.
Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 6 assists here tonight.
Right,
Columbus has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. The pass to the professor. Here's Mr. Clutch. He's covered by Rose. Columbus again can't hit.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
McDermott dishes to Gasol. Kevin Garnett grabs the miss.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
To the wing right side. Here's Mr. Clutch. Columbus again can't hit.
Yeah, dude.
And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
So for the Bulls, Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gibson. Jimmy Butler comes in for Ejuan Moore. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. Columbus also making some changes. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Towns. Bean comes in for the professor. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Mr. Clutch. And another shot. Rebound by the Bulls.
Come on, guys.
Gasol's got his third
Why
rebound
are you playing
tonight.
like this?
McDermott kicks it to Noah. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Columbus trails by 16. Rubio outside. He dishes it to Garnett. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio.
Just such a good shooter from that range.
And you factor in his height advantage, it's almost unfair.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
For Chicago, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. That free throw missing. So we can't get either to fall.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Levine, good.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
The Bulls leading by 12. Butler kicks to Gasol. And the layup's good off the glass. Gasol's got 6.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Here's Levine. Passes it to Rubio. And again, it's Columbus. There's 25 seconds left in the second quarter. Noah with a screen for Brooks. There's the pick. The feed now to Gasol. From the baseline. And it's Chicago scoring again.
And that kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
Levine passes to Rubio. Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down to just 12 points with the basket from Pekovic.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shoot.
The clock runs out, and we're...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
I wish I could turn this off.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal. Chicago holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They are leading by 12. And let's go to Shaq. What did you think? And that'll do it for now as we send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback.
It's been tough for them to try to slow down Gasol. He has 8 points, and he's also got 1 block to add to the mix today.
Yeah, and that's just a small part of what we've seen, but it's been a solid contribution defensively.
Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's McDermott in at the 3 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe. For Columbus, they've gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line. Here is Rose. Pass to Gasol. Butler dishes to McDermott. The three-pointer, no good. Columbus trails by 11. And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Here's Mr. Clutch. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Oh, Chicago has gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3 ball here.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in this game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around. Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, and understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
Towns, he's checked in for Kevin Garnett. Columbus shooting 34% from the field. That's not going to get it done. Gasol with the steal.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's Butler. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, taking himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like D. Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have maximized that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play with.
That's good. And the Bulls lead by 15.
Nice pass there to set that bucket up.
And that's 10 of their last 12 points that have come off assists.
Here's the professor. He's got 8. Rebound by Butler.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them.
No good from Moore. Columbus trails by 15. Here's the professor. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. 10 points for the professor.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
Now here's Rose. And there's a whistle that goes on Mr. Clutch. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
And Columbus making a change here. Rubio's checked in. Left side, Butler. 6 on the shot clock. And it's blocked. And they're moving it up. From the corner. Chicago grabs a miss.
Man.
At one point, they led by 16. After this one, they're off to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Butler with the steal. They get a hand on it. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Taj Gibson picks one up.
Check out the game for the professor. He's got 10 points and also a block shot. He's having a great passing game and is knocking down those foul shots as well.
Not to mention just the overall fundamentals that he's put on display here today.
Joakim Noah, he's checked in for the Bulls. Brooks comes in for Rose. Columbus also making some changes. Nikola Pekovic comes in for the Monster. And Zach LaVine subbed in for Mr. Clutch. And it's Butler missing.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
What?
I'm not even going to comment on that one.
Neither am I. I mean, if you're going to attempt a buzzer beater, I guess I will comment. Make sure there's actually a buzzer to beat.
Brooks outside. Pass to Portis. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Drains the three-pointer.
Man.
Butler's got 8 points.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Bulls making a switch here. McDermott's checked in. And Columbus also making a change. Garnett's checked in. And Rubio kicks to Pekovic, and he gets the bucket. Pekovic has got his 2nd bucket tonight.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up. And Ricky Rubio, one of the youngest international basketball stars ever, We started hearing about him in the U.S. back when he was 16, and even then, powerful teams in Europe were all vying for his services.
Good ball movement here by the Bulls. McDermott, and he finishes nicely on the way. McDermott's got 10.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
58 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Noah with the block. But they'll get another chance. 5 on the clock. Columbus trails by 16. Levine. It's offline from half court. And going back to Rubio, Clark, his natural instincts in every phase of the game, as Greg was just talking about, are really second to none. In 06, he led Spain to a championship, registering 3 triple-doubles and 1 quadruple-double. Wow.
And despite those gaudy numbers, you just never know with an international star if, in fact, his game will translate to the NBA. Rubio's game obviously has.
Levine, good.
Perfect approach for what the D was showing on that possession.
And here is Brooks. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. From 11 feet away. Can't get it to go. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Bulls lead by 14. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Columbus trails by 14, and so in the game for Columbus. Wiggins is out there with Towns. Then there's the Professor. Then there's the Monster. And it's Mr. Clutch in at the point. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Bulls.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
Something we've also seen them doing tonight is getting the long ball to go down. Big points from outside.
Gibson passes to Rose. Gasol inside. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. So many people overlooked Pau Gasol prior to last season. Seemed to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game, and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
The Professor passes to the Monster. The rebound by Gibson. Gibson's got his third rebound tonight. Gibson setting a pick for Rose. Feeds it to Gasol. Now here's Butler. He's tightly guarded. 6 to shoot, and it's blocked. Here's the Professor. He's covered by Rose. To the inside. Now the pass to Mr. Clutch. From outside the arc, and the shot is good. Mr. Clutch has got it back down to within single digits for Columbus.
And with the skill set that Pau has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact.
Right now, the defense needs to do a better job of closing out on this guy. He's heating up from outside.
Beyond the arc. Can't hit. Now Chicago takes it the other way.
Come on, man.
At one point, they led by 16. Outside Rose. And a miss there on the triple. Columbus trails by 12. Mr. Clutch, the pass to Towns. Here's the Professor. They get it back. Gibson with the steal. One-on-one here. Takes a shot at the elbow. That doesn't go either for Butler.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure. Chicago
leading by 12. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Left side Rose. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long, Clark, as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
And so Gasol nails them both.
And with Pau, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds.
Here's the professor. Some solid defense from Butler.
Oh.
And a final point, guys, with Pau's career game. It's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
Turnaround Jay. And too long on the shot. Columbus trails by 14. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Here's Mr. Clutch. But they get it back. Here's the professor, defended by Butler. The professor passes to Mr. Clutch. Good on the three-point shot. Mr. Clutch has got 6 here in this quarter.
And that's his second triple of the half. None for him going into the break.
Now Butler. Right side Rose. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 3 assists in the game.
That was a good time to call the timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
Kevin Garnett is checked in for Columbus. .156 left here in the fourth quarter. Columbus again can't hit. The professor passes to Mr. Clutch. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Wow, has he flipped a switch at halftime. Much more effective here in the second half.
Chicago calls timeout. They're up by 10. 1:46 left in the fourth quarter. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on them.
Here's the professor. Off the mark, and a chance to trim it to single digits.
The struggles just continue this quarter. They can ill afford to have this many empty possessions.
Rose dishes to Gasol. Gasol, a screen on Wiggins. Back to Gasol. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. Rose with another miss.
Well, you know, that's one thing they've been doing extremely well. Corralling those Karens.
Yeah, that's about the only thing, because not a whole lot else going right for him thus far.
Took the opportunity when he saw it.
You know, he was a non-factor in that first half, but now he's making up for lost time.
Outside Butler. There's 45 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Outside Rose. Gasol a screen. Rose kicks to Gibson. And a dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And just a terrific job of taking care of business in front of the home fans.
And, Greg, those fans had a hand in the win. I mean, they gave this team a big lift throughout the game. I thought there was great energy in the building.
Here's Mr. Clutch. And it's Chicago with the rebound. At one point, they led by 16. Outside Rose. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor, and they did that.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline.
Well, Pal,
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith without Jimmy Butler.
I can't say enough about the contribution he made defensively, specifically.